GreatTastesMB.ca is your online source for over 300 tried and true recipes, full episodes on demand, and exclusive behind-the-scenes content, including features on Manitoba's farm families. Subscribe today. Very delicious with Manitoba pork and Susan Reese tonight here on Great Taste of Manitoba. Everything we've made tonight so far has some berry component, and this is no exception. We have thyme grilled chops with royal blueberry sauce. So we're going regal here with Susan, and these chops look incredible. But let's start over there. One of the things I wanted to ask you, because of course you have all of these beautiful cuts of meats on the show all the time, but when you go to the supermarket, there's always these labels, right? Antibiotic free. What does all of that mean? It seems sometimes a little bit confusing.
Well, it's very confusing because the whole idea of raised without antibiotics and antibiotic free are really two different things. And you know, people just get the messaging all mixed up. So really, all Canadian retailed pork is antibiotic free due to the strictly observed protocols that we have on farm. That's all you really need to know. But for more clarification, we have a great resource available that walks you through all the differences, and it's just really helpful.
And probably your website as well.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, perfect.
So for this recipe, we're using a very meaty, as you can see, center cut bone-in chop. So the nice lean part of the loin here, we've got the bone-in, which is going to add lots of flavor. That fat is going to help keep the pork nice and moist and tender while it's cooking.
It really is. It's breathtaking. This pork chop is
and depending on exactly where from the loin it's cut, you'll also get a little piece of the tenderloin on there as well. So sometimes it'll be a little bit bigger, sometimes a little bit smaller.
All right.
And there's a classic sort of T-shaped bone in here as well. So
it's lovely.
Yes, it's lovely. And I've had them cut specifically about an 8.5 inch thick. Which you'll want to probably get done by a butcher, because in the store you probably won't find them like that.
No.
So first thing we're going to do is we're going to rub them just lightly with a little bit of oil. And again, this is going to help get those nice grill marks on the chop.
Are we rubbing again?
We are rubbing again. The other thing I should mention is we want to slash the fat a little bit. And the reason for that is because sometimes pork chops tend to curl up when you're cooking them because of the fat. So just by slashing it, it's going to keep it nice and flat on the grill. So don't cut
it off, actually.
No. Just cut through the fat a little bit.
Okay.
Season with a little salt and pepper. And then we've got our fresh thyme that we're going to rub in, right?
Yeah.
And you can just be like really generous with this. Again, do both sides.
Okay.
Some pepper. Don't even have to measure, just sprinkle, right? And then again, a little bit of thyme.
Both sides.
And then those can just sit until you're ready to cook them.
Okay.
An hour on the counter max, just for food safety, or obviously put them in the refrigerator if need be. And then we'll go on to making our royal blueberry barbecue sauce.
Yeah, like this is interesting. So right off the bat, Crown Royal, you're not even waiting for Aaron to come back. Forget about him. What all goes into this? Okay,
so we've sauteed some onion and some garlic in a little bit of oil just to soften the onion up. We've got a little bit of the brown stuff on the bottom, which is super tasty. We're going to deglaze the pot with the Crown Royal. And I'm going to pour that in.
I'm going to just also mention locally grown peak of the market onion. We're so proud to feature locally grown and locally produced products on our show. That being one of them. Okay,
right.
Next.
And then we're going to add in our freshly picked blueberries. And I mean, blueberries are available.
I just want to steal one. No, it's too late. Too late.
Blueberries are available all year round, so you don't need to wait for blueberry season to actually make this recipe. So you keep stirring.
Okay.
I'm going to add in some chili sauce, cider vinegar, molasses, and a little bit of Worcestershire.
Well done.
Pour that in.
Worcestershire.
And we're going to crank up the heat on this just a wee bit.
So you kind of put all that stuff together and then, okay.
And then we're going to add in some brown sugar.
Man.
Stir that up. And then lastly, we've got a little bit of chili powder and some allspice.
Wicked.
So yeah, so you basically cook that, let it simmer for about half an hour. Then you'd puree it with an immersion blender.
Okay.
And you end up with this gorgeous barbecue sauce.
It looks amazing, and I did have a little whiff of it earlier. It smells so good.
So we've got our chops grilling. You want to get those nice grill marks on there. A couple minutes aside.
Impressive.
Right, turn 90-degree angle, and now we're ready to baste with the barbecue sauce. So I'll let you do the honors because I've been doing all the work so far. So yeah, go for it.
All right. So just like
Yeah, just
glob it on
it
there.
on.
Highly technical,
Yeah,
highly sophisticated
yeah.
cooking term. Glob it on.
Now, because those chops are nice and thick, they're going to take a little bit to cook. So you're going to want to turn the heat down at this
Okay.
point
Okay.
and let them finish cooking. You're going to glaze both sides.
Both sides?
And, yep, and
Okay.
they are going to be awesome.
Well, again, it just smells absolutely incredible. Can't wait to tuck into one of these. So, hey, listen, we are going to bring Aaron back and see what he decided to do with our Berry-licious with Manitoba pork. So
Excited.
we're going to welcome him back here in just a moment here on Great Tastes of Manitoba.
You're watching Great Tastes of Manitoba, brought to you in part by greattastesmb.ca. Local farms, local foods.